There it is. Had my mic plugged into the wrong port. That concerns me. Wonder if my video I uploaded didn't have any audio. Wait. Yeah. Wow. All right. It's a bummer. Take a look at where we are in the market and some levels I'm watching, setups I'm looking for. Just a minute. Pull up some music to play in the background. Alrighty. I will say I took a sneak peek at a lower time frame, and it looks like in the pre-market we have broken below this 442.6, which was the lowest. Well, it's not the lowest level. My lowest level is 440. So we're looking at a daily chart. I'll remove some of these. I'll just remove all of them. We'll rechart. We'll see where we're at. I'll mark a few here that I have. 440 was there's not a lot of great areas where those are kind of the ones that I have there. So if we do break to the downside, those are kind of the areas I'm looking for. Nothing much has changed from my levels from earlier this week. Just adding this 438. It might be a bit of a stretch, but you can see as we broke below, we had a few opportunities to break above it before we gapped up, and then found some support in that area as well. So I think that's a valid area to look at. But to the upside, we have this 445. That's been a key level past couple days as well, so no surprises there. Other than that, I'd probably say like maybe 448. Those are the levels on the daily time frame. Realistically, if we're opening below this 442.6, we're opening in this range, it looks like. I mean, we haven't opened yet, so we'll see, but seems likely that we kind of stay in this little range in here. I don't expect a huge move to 450 or something. That being said, though, we'll hop into the hourly time frame. Still downtrending, making a series of series of lower highs and lower lows. And then you can kind of see how these levels that I have from the daily chart are looking on the hourly chart. Yeah, I feel pretty good about the levels that I have here. You could potentially say one at like 441.6. So I might look at that a little bit closer. The reason I'm considering that, you can see there's a bottom and a pre-market here, a resistance in the pre-market here. Had a bounce off the hourly time frame here, resistance here until we broke above it. So I might give that a level. Hop into the 15-minute chart, yesterday's highs and lows that we got. Yesterday's high of day. We got yesterday's low of day. So marking kind of these zones. Then we'll look at pre-market swings. So here we have a high of the pre-market, and here we low of the pre. So I'll hop into the 5-minute chart here, make sure that we got that accurate here. Good, looking good. Sweet. And then we kind of have this market level in here that I'm seeing a lot of confluence around that area where we struggled to break above it numerous times, broke above it, bounced, struggled to break above it. So that could be a potential area to look for without having too much bias coming into the day. We're looking weak. We're opening, well, currently we're below yesterday's range, not by much, but I think that we've been showing weakness. There's nothing here showing a lot of strength, so it might be a day to kind of look for move to the downside. However, if we do break up into this range, there's some levels, some areas that you could target in terms of where price might go. That being said, are gonna pull up. I think it's the earliest I've finished my analysis pre-market. Actually, excuse me. Yeah. One thing that I am looking at is we're kind of at the bottom of this trend line. We have had pretty big bounces from the bottom, you can see. So now that we're kind of up towards the bottom of that trend line, we could see a bounce today. Gonna move up towards sort of trend. Not sure. But, you know, we could bounce from the bottom of this trend that we've been forming. Wouldn't surprise me. Alright, now we'll set it up. You can see we're kind of doing this little wedge between yesterday's low day and the pre-market low. Here's to see which way we break. terms of calls, where are we at? Right around 442. If we move to the upside, I suppose we could look at 443. Move to the downside. We break down here and then retest. Wouldn't mind getting those 442s. So this will be 442 puts on tomorrow's expiration. Alright, so 30 seconds or so until the market opens. It looks like we are opening within yesterday's range, so we may have kind of gotten that bounce off the bottom of the trend line. We'll see if we push up. Realize I'm on the account. Glad I caught that. But yeah, we were kind of opening after being at the bottom of this trend that we've had for the past couple, I guess, like weeks. You can see every time we get to the bottom, we bounce pretty heavily. So here we're kind of at the bottom of that trend line, and we are getting a bounce right off the open. We're within Tuesday's range. So that's the low of Tuesday's trading day. The high is all the way up there. So I don't love that we're opening up in this range. Wow, some selling coming in there. We'll see if we break to the downside. If we break to the downside, especially if we break out this trend that we have, you know, this kind of downward sloping support that we found for the past however many days, that could be a big downward pressure. But yeah, with us opening in Friday's range, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Not really any great direction. Probably just give it a 20 minutes or so and just see how price is reacting. If we're finding support or if we're catching a lot of resistance. So kind of just sitting idle, waiting to see what the market gives us. If it gives us anything, we might just have a choppy day. But that's my thoughts. So one area that I'm watching is this level in the pre-market, 442.5, pretty much exactly. Looks like we might retest it here. I have this 442.6 daily time frame, but I think that that level might be a little bit more prevalent to today's trading session just based off the price action from the pre-market. You can see that we kind of came down and tested it. We'll see if we get continuation up to this 443.27. Like I said, I'm not in a rush to take any trades today. There's nothing here as of now that excites me. There, it looks like we get some strength off that level. Really just kind of have to wait and see. Yeah, nothing super interesting. I will be watching to see how price reacts if we get up here, as we have had quite a few rejections in the pre-market at that level. So here you soon, we're getting a move up. We'll see if we get to that level. I think we might. Not really much stopping us from getting up there, and we've showed some strength so far. Could have got that little bounce after we pushed up above that pre-market support, turned resistance. Now that we're back above it, turned resistance again. We're having a pretty strong reaction to that, pushing up. Yeah, be curious to see how 443.27, this pre-market area. So yeah, big buys coming in. Wouldn't have been a bad trade to take that bounce. But yeah, curious to see. So we're seeing some serious strength. This is pretty impressive. Oh, do we have data coming out today? Something that I always check and I forgot to. Pardon me. We have oh, we have the FOMC minutes of July today coming out, but that's not until noon. That's an interesting one. We had housing starts, we had industrial production come out this morning before market open, as well as capacity utilization. So no data coming out right now. That's just a big green candle. But yeah, blew through that pre-market resistance pretty easily. Continuing to push up. Yeah, just looking at this, can't say that's anything but very bullish. I would be, wow, this is pretty insane 5-minute candle. We haven't seen anything like that in a while. Just not stopping at all. It's very impressive. So I would say two things I'm looking for here. I would look for a pullback maybe to 443 and continuation up to 444. Or I would look for a rejection off 444 if we push straight up into it. That was such a huge level on the daily time frame, big support. So once we're below it, support turns resistance. So if we push straight up into this area, you could see some resistance up in here. I would expect a pullback to this 443.27. If I was a gambling man, that's what I would bet. It's based on pre-market price action. We're gonna have a pullback somewhere. Just depends on, do we get to this level first? Where we close this candle. We got the next printing here. if we can get a pullback into this level and some consolidation, I would consider, or not consider, I would like to take 444 calls, because I think that that's the next stop here. In terms of puts, probably 443 in case we get a rejection up here and pull back into this area. Some pretty incredible strength. I'm not going to take a put immediately upon the testing of this level. I would like to see us fail to break above and then get a retest. Especially if I'm playing counter to the trend, you know, we show a lot of strength to the upside. So I'm not, if I'm looking to play a put down to this level, it's more of a quick scalp. I think that we will get that pullback, but I want to have some sort of confirmation before just jumping in, you know, and trade counter to this obviously very strong move upwards. So here you can see we're pushing up to it, getting a little bit of resistance. Yeah, getting a little bit of resistance up in that area. Like I said, I would like to see us like push up and test this area and then get pushed down, fail to break it, and then come up and test it again before taking a position. That's just me being cautious though in this particular situation. Seconds left in this candle. We'll see. We have kind of tested that area and gotten pushed down. I would have liked to see like a bigger test of this area, like more convincing. This is pretty good though. We come up and retest again, I might look for a scalp to the downside and just try to catch the pullback. Not something that I would hold for super long, as I expect this to, you know, it's just showing a lot of bullish momentum, so not something that I would try to hold and expect like some huge reversal. Excuse me, but yeah, if we come up and test this area again. So ideally we get up towards kind of the high of day. I say that strictly because I want my entry to be close to where I'd put my stop loss just to minimize risk. So there you're kind of getting it. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get the entry we want here. Yeah, we might get this pullback prior to testing this again. If I don't get in on this scalp on the pullback, that's fine. I would look for us to make a lower high, or excuse me, I'm all over the place, a higher low, and try to get continuation up to 444. So we're pushing up again. See if we can't retest this zone. Get ready to get in position if we do. That's close. So I'll get in a position right here. That's a retest of the high of day. We're testing that 444 area. If we get a convincing push up above, I'll cut this one. It is a bit riskier, as you can see that we have shown a lot of strength to the upside, and this is trading counter to that. So 444 has been a really strong level though, so now that we're below it, I expect it to act as a pretty firm resistance. We had this huge push up. It looks like volume's kind of decreasing as we reach into this area. We're having longer wicks up top, kind of the reasons why I'm feeling confident about a slight pullback from here. And like I said, I'm targeting probably this area in here, this 443.3 or so. I'm not expecting a big pullback. And we don't, yeah, so I'm out. That could be a preemptive stop loss. I mean, I could have probably allowed myself a little bit more wiggle room, but what I'm seeing is pretty bullish. I'm not feeling like risking it against that. That wasn't a great trade setup regardless. Once we saw it push up pretty convincingly over 444, I mean, we'll see how this closes. It could get pushed right back down and hold that as resistance. It certainly could. Looks like we are getting that right now. So perhaps a little bit early to sell on that, but we're still showing a lot of strength. I'm not necessarily looking to hold a losing trade that's going opposite of the trend of the day. So this closes, but it looks like on the 15-minute, we could still potentially get a rejection off that 444 level. What I'd look for then is this to close below and then a retest again, and I might re-enter a put position as well, because it is looking pretty good on a higher time frame, and I would have expected this to hold as support once we broke above it, which it's not as of yet, so that's what I'm watching. Yeah, big selling coming in. We'll see if we get a retest of this on, say, like the subsequent, the following candle. If we close convincingly below and get a retest, I might play this to the downside again. As you can see on a higher time frame, it looks like we will get a rejection from this area, and hopefully we can get in on that. Like we are getting that rejection from that area that I was looking for. I got out, I cut my loss super early. We did kind of come down into that 444 or 443.3 area I was looking at.
Sure.
Yeah, cut a little early, but took a really small loss on the day, so just trying to manage risk there. Right now, I'm kind of waiting to see if we find some support down in here and form a higher low. I'd be interested in these 444 calls, continuation up. As you can see, premium moved really nice. If we could get a good fill, that'd be a really nice move if we reclaim that 444 area. I want to see how things react. Looks like we are finding some support in this area based off this candle here. Only concern is on the higher time frame. It still looks kind of bearish. I mean bearish in the short term in terms of a pullback. You can see a super long wick at a key area. So that is something that I'm kind of cautious about looking at a higher time frame. Because based on this, you might expect that we could pull back down, form potentially a higher low that we haven't actually actualized yet. We'll see. A little less than a minute left on this one. Volume is pretty low. You know, this candle that we pushed up above that level, pretty high volume. That big sell-off was pretty low volume compared to the previous candles, and this is even lower than that. So you know, this might not be the greatest morning to trade. I mean, if you caught this move up, great. But we do have FOMC minutes, which makes me think that things might be a little choppy until we get that data. I'm kind of contemplating getting a call in this area. I'm really just kind of waiting to see how this reacts. This could be the higher low on the higher time frame that I'm looking for here. So here we break down below it. See if we get some buyers stepping in. If we can hold that level, I'd be interested. But it's kind of dicey. Doesn't seem like we're holding it super well. So yeah, oh man, that pullback that we got from a retest of 444 working out pretty perfect. I sold those at a super small loss. I took a $9 loss. I had a really tight stop. Apparently I shouldn't have, because it played out pretty perfect. We went right down to 430 or 443. So that could have been a really nice move. I sold a little early. I was being cautious, but maybe I should trust myself a little bit more on that one. Give myself a little bit more breathing room before I cut a loss. Yeah, things have worked out pretty well on that trade. But yeah, we're selling pretty hard. We'll see. We'll see if we can get some sort of structure and base a trade off of it. Volume is dropping. I mean, we still have 2.5 minutes left in this candle, so we'll see. If I don't see anything I like, I don't particularly feel like FOMOing into a trade or, you know, taking another loss. I have a very small loss on the day. If I see a setup I like, I'll take it. But I do want to be kind of particular in my next move if I do take one, because I don't want to stack losses and just let it eat me up. And if we're having kind of a harder to predict day here, then that might be something that I want to just step away from and live to fight another day per se. Looks like right at 443 we found a little bit of support. What I'm really curious to see, as soon as I say that, what I'm really curious to see is if we can form a higher low. If we can get a higher low, form some consolidation, find some support, I'd be interested. Because currently we are still technically, from today's open, we are still in an uptrend. We have formed, higher high. We haven't made a higher low. So we'll see if we can put that in. The volume coming in on this candle, so yeah, pretty aggressive sell-off. Trying not to beat myself up over it, but I really wish I had held on to this position because it's playing out pretty nicely. I had the right idea up there. I think I was just playing it too cautious. I didn't want to take a big loss. But yeah, I suppose what I should have given myself. Yeah, it's not a huge push up above, but it did close above the level with pretty strong volume, so I'm not mad I took a small loss. I protected myself, but the trade did play out kind of what I was looking for. Regardless, past is the past. We just gotta learn from it. Overall, the outcome wasn't terrible, so. We're in kind of an interesting situation here. And it has me wondering, is this a higher low, or is this a break and a retest of an area and we're going to continue lower? On a higher time frame, if we could reclaim this level, that might look like support and we can continue to move upwards. We'll see though. So we are showing some strength here. I suppose if I take another trade, what I'm looking for ideally is if we can recapture this zone, form that definite higher low on the higher time frame, show that we have some support in both areas. So if we can bust above, consolidate in this area, I'd feel pretty good about taking a continuation move upwards. We'll see if that plays out as I'd like it to. I mean, that's like the dream scenario. So we'll see. We haven't gotten like a lot of consolidation today. Been like big moves in either direction without much warning. Kind of a sporadic day, I guess. Definitely good for premiums. I mean, premiums have moved pretty violently. You're getting big swings. So if you're on the right side of it, you can capitalize on that. But in terms of how I like to trade, I like to see some confirmation. I want to see, 5-minute candle close confirming the move that I'm looking for. A retest after that. So we'll see. If I get a nice setup, I'll take a trade, but I'm not necessarily rushing into it. Like I said, I don't want to stack losing trades just trying to get in on them. So if I see something I like, I'll take it. Other than that, gonna be pretty patient. The kind of last minute left in this. We are showing some strength. We have fully engulfed the red candle prior to it, so we can close strong, come back down, retest this area. I'd feel pretty good about taking a long to 444. Like I said, we're kind of having some sporadic price action if I'm honest with myself, which makes it a little harder for me to read it. But if I'm looking at a higher time frame, you know, it looks like we have put in a higher low. Looks like we are finding some strength, some support. Alright, we'll see what we get here. If we come down and retest this area, so I'm not sure we are. Looks like we're pushing up pretty strong. Looks like we'll retest that 444 area. We'll see what happens. There's that retest. Curious to see how we react up here. Looks like we might retest the high a day. And some selling. So looking at this, I'm kind of split. If we fail to break above this level again, we come up, retest this level again, we're showing some selling pressure up here for sure. I might look for puts as well. Like I said, this is a super strong area of support. Now that we're below it, I expect it to act as a strong resistance. If we show multiple times that we can't break above it, we might get a continued move down. So we'll see. It's still technically in an uptrend, unless this becomes a lower high, in which case that we could reverse, come down. We'll see. We are definitely seeing some resistance up there though. So if we are continuing to show weakness at that level, if we get a retest, I will enter puts. Well, I would like to enter up in this area just to minimize my potential risk. So yeah, if we could get back up and test this area, I would enter a put, and my target would be the low of day, or this recent swing low. My stop would be if we have, you know, convincing push up in this area. If we, for example, if we set a new high, I would get out pretty immediately. We'll see. I don't know if we'll get a retest. We might sell off from here. We'll see. Pushing up a little bit. We also have falling volume on this run up. Whoa, got a little bit of lag there. So yeah, if we could retest this, that would be very great. I would look to enter a put. That might confirm a lower high. Super low volume on this candle so far. I'd love to see us test that area so I could get a great fill, minimize my risk here. Here we go. See if we can get it. Pushing up. Kind of hovering around that area. We are pushing up. Alright, I'll get a fill right here. Exit if we set a new high. But we have really low volume on this candle compared to every candle prior, so seeing that sell-off, that selling pressure up in this area with a super low volume push into it, inability to make a higher high, I'll take that odd. We are pushing up a bit here. Kind of testing the high a day. Giving it a little bit of room. We're getting some selling happening. We'll see here. Anything can happen, but that reaction makes me feel a little bit at ease in this position. We could see some accompanying volume with this sell-off. That would make me feel pretty good. So we're seeing a battle at 444. Kind of neutral. Have a wick up top, a wick down below. Super small body at this point. There is definitely some selling pressure happening up here. Got 2 minutes left on this candle, so we'll see. I have a pretty good fill, so I feel comfortable in this position. Like I said, if we show a push up, if we like break that high a day, I'll cut. I'm looking to target somewhere down in here, kind of this low a day if we do pull back with some volume. So already have more volume than the previous candle that we pushed up into this area with. So price action volume at this level, feel pretty confident right now. But we will just have to stick to our rules and follow the rules I have for myself, follow the trade that I established. See how this plays out. Anything could happen. But as of now, it looks like we may have put in a lower high, and we may get this sell-off at a key level, you know, with an inability to break higher, low volume on the push up into that area. Everything is kind of indicating that we may get another little sell-off here. So here we go. About 5 seconds left in this candle. If we can finish this real strong to the downside, that'd be great. So looking good so far. We'll see if we can kind of break down this established little support area here. If we can break down below that, like I said, target is the previous swing low. Find a little bit of support of that 443.5. That's definitely gonna be an area that we want to break through to feel confident about holding this a little longer. There's a retest of that area. There's kind of a break of that area. Let's see if we can't get a continuation down. But as of now, it's looking like we kind of set in a double top. And some support in this area. We'll see how that reacts. Higher time frame, this trade is looking good. Everything's looking good so far. We kind of broke this little area of support that we had in here. We'll see if we can close below that. Volume is pretty low so far. We still have 2 minutes left though, so that could come in. But I do want to see volume support my move, not die off in it. kind of interesting here. We're kind of just hanging out at the bottom of this candle range. But that's better than pushing up, so I'll take it. But it looks like so that's over. Next candle printing. We'll see how we get, what type of reaction we get off of this one. Really looking to target right in here. If we did that, that would be perfect. Everything would play out nice. I'd love to see this candle flip. It's tried to push up a little bit. You see we got pushed down. We could flip that. Go red. Alright, so it looks like we might get it. Pushing down, we're targeting this area right in here. Alright, we're approaching it. Look to take profit. Very close. We just need a final little push. Now some interesting action happening at this 443.27 area. push below it, got pushed back up, push right back down below it. If we seem to be finding support there, I might exit my trade there. And just lock in what I have. But I'm gonna try to be patient and see how we close here. Definitely got a little bit of volume coming in. Looks like we definitely have some buyers in this area. See how this next candle reacts. Still kind of find some support in that area. We'll see if we can break down. There's like absolutely zero volume on this candle so far. We get like any selling coming in, that should push us down. We're hanging on to that area by a thread. All right, so here we go. See if we can't target that previous low. Looks like we're approaching it. And I'm out as we reach that area right down in 443. So that worked out pretty well. We could continue to go down. If we break this, we could enter kind of a downtrend. But that worked out really well for me. I'm happy. I took a small loss, but that's why you do keep your losses small. I took a small loss. If I held, I would have had a really nice trade. But in taking that small loss, having that risk management, I was able to take one more trade. Same idea, same exact trade that I tried earlier. Got a little bit better fill, had some conviction, held to my target. I wanted to target this low right here. We got it down to a T. Ended up positive about $20 on the day. So started off with a loss, ended up positive. That's what you can ask for. I think that worked out really nice. So I'm gonna hop off and get ready for work. I hope, if anybody's in here, I appreciate you. I hope you caught one of those trades and got some money on the day. And with that, I'm out ski.